Hello everyone, myself Aditi, and I'm again back with the LeetCode Daily Challenge Problem Series. So, for the month of January, the first question for the month is you have to assume that you are an awesome parent and want to give your children some cookies, but you should give each child at most one cookie. So, each child I has a greed factor GI, which is the minimum size of a cookie, and that the child will be content with. And each cookie J has a size Sj. If Sj is greater than equal to Gi, we can assign the cookie J to the child I and the child I will be content. Your goal is to maximize the number of your content children and output the maximum number. So basically the question is you are given two input arrays. One is the array G, another array is S. Okay, so array G simply represents the greed factor of children while array S represents size of cookies available. So in this question, this is the input given and to find the output, what are they asking us? They are asking to find out the maximum number of content children where a child is content. Okay, so basically there's a word used which is content. They say minimum size of a cookie that the child will be content with. What does that mean? That simply means a child is said to be content if their greed factor can be satisfied by a cookie. Okay, so basically to understand the question better, let us consider this example, and in this example you can clearly see that the input array is given as 1 2 3, and the cookies available are 1 and 1. So basically, you clearly know what did I say? Content means a child is content when its greed factor is or his or her greed factor is satisfied. Okay, so you can see there are three children in the array, and for each children you can see one has the greed factor 1, the second child has greed factor of 2, while the third child has a greed factor of 3. So to fulfill or satisfy the first child, okay, to satisfy the greed factor of first child, you need one cookie. Why? Because its greed factor is 1. So from this array, you can clearly see the greed factor of the child at index 0 is satisfied. But when we move to index 1, that is the second child which has greed factor of 2. So basically this child will definitely need two cookies. Okay, so in this input array of cookies available, you can clearly see there are no two cookies available. Okay, so the output will be simply 1. And similarly the second example goes. So to approach the question, let us first of all, let us first of all sort the two arrays given to us. Let's sort the array S. Let's sort the array G. Okay, so our approach is we'll first of all sort the arrays in the ascending order, the arrays which are given array G and array S. Okay, now to approach you can clearly see that if you are arranging them in ascending order, that simply means if we move or if we assign two pointers to both the arrays, then we can simultaneously iterate through both the arrays and then check and compare if every child is getting or its greed factor is getting satisfied or content or not. Okay, so first of all, we have just sorted both the arrays. Now we are going to initialize two pointers. Before initializing two pointers, let me tell you, we need to return a number. That is, we are required to calculate the maximum, or the goal is to maximize the number of your content children. Okay, so initially we have to assume that there are no content children. None of the children's greed factor is satisfied. So let's initialize the number of content children as 0. Let's also initialize two pointers for both the arrays. Yeah, as 0. Pointer for the G array, GP as 0 again. Okay, now what are we going to do? We are going to assume while G pointer is less than the length of the array G, and similarly the pointer in or the pointer at every element in S array, that is SP, is less than length of the array S. Okay, we are assuming this so that we can iterate inside the inside both the arrays. Okay, if this is the condition, that is we are not reaching the end of any array. While this condition is met, we can check if value at the value at index SP in array S, if it is greater than equal to the value at index SP, okay, in the array in the array S, in the array G, oh sorry, yeah, this is also GP. Okay, So first of all, what are we going to do? We clearly know that the array S was for representing the size of cookies available, and while the G array was representing the greed factor of children. Okay, so assume this example. Okay, what did we write? We just wrote if the value at index S pointer in array S, that is in the cookies available, if we are checking that if it comes, if the value at this, okay, for the 0th index, if it is greater than equal to the value at 0th index of this array, then we can clearly say that the greed factor of child at index 0 is satisfied. Okay, so we'll keep checking it, and if the condition is met, we can clearly say that we have found a content children. Okay, content children. So we will just increase the count. Okay, similarly we'll also increase the count of this pointer. Okay, now if this condition is not satisfied, that is, if you find that the cookie size is less than the size given for the greed factors in the array G, then what are you going to do? You will simply move on, even if the cookie is not assigned. Okay, so you will increase the count, and in the end, you will simply return the count of content children. So this is the approach that I said, and the same way, in the same approach, we have solved the question. So let's try running the code. Okay, so the solution is accepted. Let's submit it. Okay, so it's submitted. Thank you guys. And okay, further thing, the time complexity for this question is big O of n log n. Why? Because we are just sorting the arrays. While the space complexity is big O of 1, as we are using only a few pointers and not creating any additional data structure. Okay, so this is the basic approach to solve the question. Greedy approach is used while optimizing the content children. So guys, stay tuned. Thank you.